just even putting my face on my page was very, very, very scary for me. Because as much as I'm an extrovert and I'm a people person, it's a whole other thing to put yourself out there. This is not just like my friend seeing this now. This is the world. I'm opening myself up. So it was very vulnerable. It was a very scary thing to do. And especially because, things like imposter syndrome, where I feel like, who am I? They have, like, I'm thinking about all the other local brands who'd be like, who does Gail feel she is? Um, like, why is she putting her, who, she now come on the scene, like, nobody knows who you are, blah, blah, blah. But again, because this business is not just me, this is a partnership between me and the Lord, right? So the things that I do are not disconnected from what I feel He's telling me to do. And so I have my jewelry in one store in Trinidad. And when COVID hit, everything shut down. And I thought everybody made this mad dash to social media, to be like, just keep putting stuff out there so people don't forget and da 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 da. And I thought, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But I'm not a bandwagonist, and I don't do things because people say that's the thing you should do for business, right? Like, I take things with a pinch of salt. So I hear that, but I also feel like I need to be intentional. And the things that I do need to, it needs to be connected to my bigger goal, right? So I just started writing in a journal. I have like a business journal where I just write things down and ideas and whatever. And I started putting these things down. And I felt like the Lord was telling me, like, you should do these live conversations. And I was like, what? No, I don't want to do this. This is scary. But I just decided, you know what, let me do it. I was really nervous that nobody would show up on my live. Like, I've seen other live IG lives where people have like 2 viewers or 1 viewer. And I was terrified that that would be me. I was like, that would be so embarrassing.
But to whom, if not?
Well, it's true. It'll be to the people who's seeing it, right? Like, I didn't even think about that. The people who are on the live will see that it's only 2 people. But my first conversation went really well. I think I was fortunate to start my conversation with Mailing, who's a local like design icon here. And even that in itself is another story of just how God, like, I see how God is networking me and placing me in the right places with the right people. So I had her on for my first conversation, and that went really well. And I just been doing it ever since. Like, that first one, I was nervous all day. Now I only get nervous like about 15 or 10 minutes before I go on, but not nervous in the sense of, I guess it's just natural nerves that I don't even know why, but it just happens like 10 minutes before. And then when I start, I'm good. And I think the feedback that I've been getting from people makes me feel okay about it. Because I feel like a lot of times my friends would say, I didn't know that, like, this really helped me, or that, or, and these are not friends who are involved in the fashion industry at all. But the things that people say still connect to them in some way. So for me, it's about purpose. And then even the whole thing of me modeling my jewelry was not something that I planned. Again, I felt like one day the Lord was saying to me. So I was reading Exodus, where the Israelites were going to build the temple, right? The ark, and all of these things that had to go into the tabernacle. And there was one part that stood out to me, because it was where the Lord said that He gave Bezalel, son of Uri, Bezalel, He gave him the ability to create the skills to design and to work with jewelry and to work with stones. And I was like, wow, He gave him the skill to become this skilled craftsman in all kinds of works, right? And I was just reading that and just like meditating on it. And I felt like the Lord said, you have a lot of things inside of you, like gifts and skills and abilities that I've placed there. And you need to lay hands on yourself and like speak those things, like speak life to them, and let them come up. And so I did it. And then shortly after that, like a friend of mine, he does jewelry, and we were talking. He was like, he really looking for somebody to like model his pieces, and he really is about a lifestyle brand. And I was helping him look at. He was like, I really like this girl, but it's her clothes, like it's a little too revealing, and da da da. And then one day after that, he messaged me. He was like, Nisha, you are the person. I was like, what? I'm not model. That's not me. I'm not Instagram model type person. I'm not this influencer type person. Like, at least I didn't think so. And then I realized that I do have influence with people. I just didn't realize it. I didn't recognize that I did. And the things that I thought were weird was all the time that influence that I didn't even know I had. And this is like before really even understanding who Jesus is and who I am with him and all of that, right? Like I remember people would always stare at me and I'm like, what is wrong? Like, is my zip down? Do I have like, what is something in my teeth? Like, why are people just random people? Like, I'd be walking down the road and a child or a lady in a car or a man or whatever. I never understood why. And it was only recently I understood that I do have something that people are drawn to, and that I do have a level of influence that I didn't think that I had. And so just all of these things started happening, like in terms of modeling stuff. When I say modeling stuff, my stuff, um, and just doing stuff like at mailing store as well. So it's something that is new. It's something that I literally have to pray about like every single time. So even though you see me posting those pictures, like I probably was praying through every, Lord, please help me, please, Jesus, please. Um, so yeah, I can't do any of these things that I do without the help of the Holy Spirit, and just doing things that are very uncomfortable for me. But because I feel like this is what the Lord is leading me to do, I'm just being obedient and I'm being open to the things that are coming my way now because of that prayer, of just like the things that are inside of me that need to come out. So I'm just being open to however that might show up.
Can you share a bit about your workflow?
It changes because I'm doing different things all the time. So sometimes I might be working on a collection of pieces. Sometimes it might be orders for people. Sometimes it might be to restock at mailing store. I'm more creative in the afternoon. So I can't, like, I try to do my mornings are focused on if I have any kind of admin stuff to do, send an email, like do those kinds of things. And in the afternoon is when I feel like I can sit in my studio and just be okay to like work. That's basically my kind of workflow, my process. I also don't work on a Sunday at all. I decided I would do nothing on a Sunday, except the only thing I do if I do something on a Sunday is the conversation. But that is literally just talking to somebody. I've done all the work for that during the week. I know what I'm going to say. I'm prepared. It's just to have my IG conversation. But so Sunday is my rest day. I was not resting before COVID. I was 24/7 in business mode. Like even when you're not doing something, it's like business, right? And I felt like at the start when everything shut down and people were shutting down businesses and people were working from home, I was like, oh, well, I work from home anyway, so nothing changing for me. But I felt that the Lord said, no, you need to take a break, like stop. And I didn't do anything for like about a month or a month and a half or something like that. And that's when all the ideas actually for the things that I'm doing now came, like the conversation. That's how it happened. I forgot. I realized that we as creative people need to take breaks. As a self-employed person, you need to take breaks. You need to give yourself time to rest. I think that's when the creativity really just bubble to the surface. And it's easier for me to sit and do things now. Not that it was hard before, but it's easier now. It doesn't feel like I have to think very hard to do things. And even with my conversations, somehow there is a natural progression outward of the people that I'm talking to. And the conversations seem to build. And so even in terms of that, it feels like I feel like these things are going to morph into something bigger than I even realize that right now. Like I don't understand the potential of these conversations. but I feel like it's going to morph into something bigger than I even thought of. Um, and in a way that has more impact than just people talking, you know?
That's a beautiful conversation. Before we close, tell everybody watching or listening where they can find you online.
So right now I'm on Instagram at MetaTT, METAHTT, and on Facebook, just Meta. I don't have a website yet. But I need to build one. So I've said COVID a lot in this one in this one podcast, right? But um but COVID really did make me realize a lot of things. Like I need to transition into having an online presence in terms of like e-commerce and that kind of stuff. So that's something that I want to build towards at least for next year. So right now it's just Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, sweet. With your scribble line, I definitely want to mention that. I actually look forward to like what's the next design.
Ah, really? I was like, am I bombarding people? I thought, am I like overdoing it?
You look forward to it because,
Oh.
like I said, it's like minimalistic, but the creativity within minimalism that's a skill.
Amazing.
So I look forward to them. So please be posting.
I'm going to be posting today. So people order through Instagram. I get a lot of orders through Instagram. That line was specifically just in store at mailing, but I'm always like a lot of these things that are on my page. If people message me about it, like I decide which pieces are pieces that I will recreate, and so they have pieces. Like so people could order through Instagram. I just wanted to add, like I think people think simple is boring, but I think it's like exactly what you said. Simple isn't boring. Like simple could be so standout on its own. Like it really just is like the cherry on what is the cherry on the cake or the icing. I feel like simple pieces do that. They just finish and make something look complete. And you don't need to necessarily have big and I love big and chunky, but I found that my designs have become very simple. And I think I like that because simple pops just as much as chunky.
Slogan.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would want to leave for somebody who she might have a suspicion about what her gifts are, or something she could work on in this season, but if she's hesitant about getting started, what's one thing that you could just share to encourage her?
I would say just start. I think doing it is the first step. And doing it with what you have, not waiting until you have 500 tools and all the material that you could dream of, and all of the skill that you would need. Like just start. I don't have a quarter of the tools that I see other people who are like metalsmiths. I don't have all of those tools, but I do what I can with what I have. And I'm okay with that. And I think that's important. Like if there's something that you want to do, I think just do it even afraid. Because I've done a lot of things afraid. And and you'll be surprised at how the more you do something, that thing is the more it becomes natural for you to do and easy. And the more you become comfortable in your skin owning that thing, and not feeling like a fake or feeling unnatural with it. Like it becomes part of you the more you do it. And it's easier to be an expression of yourself rather than trying to learn how to create something from a place that is not intrinsic at the moment.
Thanks so much, Nisha.
You're welcome.
You can view pics and order your favorites on Instagram. Just let Nisha know and she'll get them to you. Softly feminine. They're just softly feminine, my love. So
yeah. I love all the ways you describe it.
Days to use to suit.
I will.
Remember to check out Nisha from Meta Designs online. She's on IG and on Facebook, and soon different places. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for featuring me again. And anytime you want, I'll be here again. All right. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.